and the struggle for independence resulted in 1921 in the creation of the Irish Free State. Many of the Anglo-Irish decided to leave. They had ruled Ireland for centuries, and those Irish who saw them as oppressors and landlords living off the backs of the people were not sorry to see them go. But a few Ascendancy families did decide to stay.
After the creation of this country, I think the remaining families felt it was time they took a back seat, that they'd done their bit, which may be a pity. Maybe we still have something to offer, but I think the feeling is it's their turn. We had a good innings. Now it's the other chap's turn.
There's very few of them left, and the few that are left keep going. They're disappearing. They're like the dinosaurs. If you love Ireland, you love Ireland. It gives you a feeling, a sort of pull. How can you live anywhere else in the world? How could I live anywhere else in the world except Ireland? And my roots have gone down from my toes into the soil.
People who live in a place put their imprint on it, for better or worse. And I rather hope we put a good imprint here. It's rather nice to look out of the window, know that every tree here we planted at some point, still planting them. And Glaslough is a sacred lake. It's a healing lake. A lot of people have experienced it. It's a marvelous lake for people who are really broken up inside. You get into that lake and you get immediate peace. There are actually 6 big healing angels standing round it, but not everyone would believe me. When it got polluted and the algae came in, a lot was done on the higher planes to clean it up. We had a little word with the guardians of the lake, and they were most helpful. Algae went overnight. Now it's as clear as glass, which it always was, Glaslough, the green glassy lake.
That was beautiful, actually.
Yeah, so you miss people like him. Like I like characters like that, and they're pretty much all gone now. Maybe it wasn't a bad thing because again, it's nostalgia, and you can look back and go, "Oh God, they were lovely, really." Look at this guy, like all the good he's done. He's cleared up the lock. He's maintained the house. I think he's enriched the world somewhat, like with his music. So I had to listen to some of his music. He made an album of futuristic sounds. It's pretty much what you'd imagine from the 60s. But it's all those sounds, from Doctor Who and sci-fi movies. So he kind of pioneered all that. I think he was responsible for the first mixing deck as well. So he would have a lot of musicians visit him at the castle, Mick Jagger, all those type of guys. He would show them his mixing desk. Apparently he invented the first mixing desk. That was fantastic. Again, an astrologer, into ufology, the occult. And so that should be nurtured, shouldn't it? Like there should be a class of people who are dedicated to, intellectual study, who can live in comfort, which this man did, but apparently didn't have any money because all the money is wrapped up in the house and keeping the house going.
Right.
But that's the nice side of it. The other side of it was that many of them left people to just fucking starve at the side of the road. which is terrible. But we did get rid of them. I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but I think where we failed is we didn't do anything with it when we got it. We had such high ideals, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we just tried to ape what was there before us, and we're still fucking at it. This guy, he said, what did he say? He had 4 angels guarding the lake, and he asked the angels to clear the lake of algae, and a miracle took place.
And I believe it.
I do too. I honestly do. I don't know if it's just because of the accent where you believe anything. He's still like, he could say anything, and you're just sitting there like, yes, sing me another lullaby. You're clearly far more intelligent than I could ever be. But he's a stand-up guy, and there's previous footage of him as well. Maybe in the 50s. But his wife was an author, and I think a playwright as well. And she'd put on a play in London, and some reviewer gave it a terrible review. But that reviewer was on a BBC program the next night, and our man here, Desmond, he decided to get tickets for the show, confronted the critic live on the television show.
Wow.
Gave him a dressing down to protect the honor of his wife, and punched him in the head.
What?
You punched him in the fucking head. And I didn't know this is one of our own. I'm claiming him for Ireland. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh yeah, me too.
He's as Irish as Irish can be. I'll see if I can find it now, wouldn't I? Now that I've and I said that, I didn't just imagine it.
This is a man with balls. This is a warrior.
Oh yeah. So before, like when he was in his youth, like it was a nightclub. The hotel, he turned it into a nightclub, like for high society. So he'd have all high-profile guests, high-class people, peasants. Not allowed in, but you have to have standards. You can't be just letting fucking Paddy into the castle. He'd have the place destroyed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure, the lead would be going off the roof in hours. Yeah, but I think I could live with him as a kind of a lord of the land.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a Michael Flatley, like that's the closest we have now to a member of the Protestant Ascendancy is Michael Flatley, and he might be pre that. He might be like like an old
thousands of miles.
Okay, we'll just get this queued up now. So Bernard Levin is the man's name, who I believe was a renowned critic in the UK at the time. 1963 is the year. So yeah, I think it's when critics turned into those nasty, horrible little bastards, where, like us, where they deliberately go out of their way looking for faults and flaws. Okay.
Yeah, but we're funny though. That's the difference.
That's what we like to tell ourselves. We can say that okay on screen. Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thousands have marched at least some of the way along that road over the last 6 years, and 10 have come to the studio tonight to face Bernard Levin.
1 minute, Mr. Levin. Before you begin, it will take a minute. Would you stand up a second? Mr. Levin, your review of Savagery and the Light was not a review.
Please,
it was a vicious attack.
Yes, it may well have been, but would you mind going back?
There's just one tiny thing to be done.
It wasn't part
10 million viewers. Look at this smile on the
Nice.
fucker's face.
Yeah.
Look at that smile. Am I getting my dick sucked tonight or what?
He got what he came for.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I think if the dude just, wasn't a dick and heard him out, then I don't think he would have gotten punched.
I think he went there for the punch. I think that was the big part of it.
Yeah, but a man of his sophistication would have punched him with his words.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's just as the honor of his wife got the better of him.
I suppose, yeah, the raw fucking, instinct of it.
Yeah, someone insults your wife, especially publicly. Like, so this guy's on television, in the newspapers. Your wife's poured her fucking heart and soul into this project.
Yeah.
And then what transpired was there was a fault with the sound. So
Oh God!
People halfway back in the theatre couldn't actually hear
Fucking hell, man!
what's happening on stage.
Really?
Yeah, and he pulled it, he ripped it apart, he ripped it to fucking shreds. Like, so you can imagine Desmond must have been furious.
Fuck this guy!
Yeah,
Like, this was the early 1960s. Couldn't he have fucking wrote a letter to the Queen and had him murdered?
you'd hope so, but the influence had waned by
Hmm.
then. It's like it's the influence is not there anymore.
I suppose, yeah.
Maybe they're not moneyed anymore. They've
Mm.
lost a lot of money. They lost their lands in Ireland. They managed to keep that bit in Monaghan. But
Mm.
prior to that, it was half the country or something like that. People had to return rent on. So I imagine he's outraged, furious. Like, it's not only an attack on his wife; it's an attack on him, on the Leslie fucking dynasty. So he can't have it. And because he's a higher class individual, it's not good enough to just have him executed or to write him a strong letter.
Mm.
No, he has to have his revenge and then some. So his wife is publicly humiliated. Well, then Levin must be publicly humiliated
Mm-hmm.
by a factor of 10.
Mm.
So if 1 million people have read his review, well, then fucking 10 million people are going to watch live on television when I dress you down mentally and physically.
Mm.
Not just a mental beating, but a good old-fashioned hiding, a good
Mm.
paddy whacking. Like, this is how we would have treated the servants. We know that when the cameras are off, like if Paddy got into the fucking living quarters and he had muck on his shoes or something, Desmond would be furious and come storming in the room. And how dare you, Patrick? I've said this 1,000 times. You do not come into the house with your Wellingtons on and then trash them around the house to make sure he never come in again with muddy shoes. Yeah, the smile says it all for me. He just loves it. But that's a great. Now, think of that. Like, think how your wife couldn't help but love you for doing that. Like, her honor is besmirched. And you look your husband. You even get to say to your wife, "Listen, whatever you do, make sure you tune in at fucking 8 p.m. to BBC One. Bernard Level is being interviewed. Actually, have the telly on 10 minutes before that, and don't turn it off until you receive a phone call from me. I have a special surprise for you.
Yeah, go to the Jacks beforehand.
Yeah, you're going to love it. Like, make sure the money's in the meter and the electricity doesn't go off. Whatever. Make sure you fucking watch it." And then she's sitting at the edge of her bed in her dressing gown, one of those kind of 60s chiffon ones with the kind of yellow flowery bits at the end, poof out, and little white slippers with real cotton around the top of them, not that fucking fake plastic shit that we have today made in China. Real cotton, picked by the last of the slaves in the Americas. And she's sitting there watching this, and there your husband comes on television, and you see him, he's addressing this man who's taking your honor away from you, and then gives him a trashing. Like, he was ravaged when he came home. Like, this is like killing a woolly mammoth type behavior to do this on national television.
Yeah, they'd have to get the builders in to, remodel the place because of the flooding.
Yes, exactly. Not to put too fine a point on it. Well, yeah, I just want to watch it again because this man's dead now. Like, he's gone, like, so. His son's a bit of a wet wipe as well. Like, he's turned it into an organic farm or some retreat for fucking hippies or something like that.
Right.
To face Bernard Levin's arrest.
1 minute, Mr. Levin. Before you begin, it won't take a minute. Would you stand up a second?
Look how polite he is. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. It's just, glorious fucking passive aggressiveness. Yeah.
Okay, none of these knackers like doing call out videos on YouTube. Just very polite. Excuse me, Mr. Levin. Would you please mind standing up before I punch you in the face?
Mr. Levin, your review of Savagery and the Light was not a review.
Please,
it was a vicious attack.
Yes, it may well have
on
been, but would you mind going back?
There's just one tiny thing to be done.
Very God.
Yeah.
your review. What did he call it? A vicious attack.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a review, but a vicious attack, and which can only be followed up with
Yeah.
a vicious. I need a few punches as well. Like, so we got three swings in there, much like our stabber from earlier this evening. So yeah, well done, Leslie. I think maybe the Protestant ascendancy did have something to offer, and they tried in the 1700s and 1800s, and it didn't work out, you know. And then we went ahead and did it without you.
Yeah.
And you left, by and large. I didn't think they had. Last week I thought a fair amount of them must have stayed, but apparently not. It's like a large majority of them left the country.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, you know, I can understand it.
Yeah. So we never know. We never know what would have happened if they'd hung around. But in the meantime, we are where we are. Pretty much could be anywhere in the UK. Let's be honest, most places now. So we've come a long way. Come a very long way in those years.